Hello guys, today I'm going to be doing a walkthrough on the TryHackMe room Attacktive directory. So let's get right into it. So first up, we have to deploy our machine. Click on Start Machine, and then we connect to TryHackMe VPN. So my VPN is located in TryHackMe. So I'll do, okay, before that, I start my TMOC session. So I'll connect to the VPN using sudo open VPN and the name of my VPN file. Enter my password. Okay, password is wrong. Okay, connected to the VPN, and we can start. All right. So next step is to install in-packets. So if you're running Kali Linux, in-packets should come pre-installed on your system, so you don't need to follow the steps to install in-packets. But if you are not running Kali Linux and you're running any other Linux distribution, you should definitely follow the steps to install in-packets on your system. To confirm you have in-packets installed, you can just type the command locate in-packets, and it should bring out a lot of results which verify that you have this tool installed on your system. So specifically, if you scroll up, and you should see the user share examples. Where is it? There's a lot of results. So it's the user share. All right, so just if you can see a lot of results like this, it just indicates that you have in-packets installed, as you can see. So you don't need to stop yourself. So next up is to install Bloodhound and Neo4j. So you can follow the steps to install these tools. It's very easy to install and self-explanatory. So we're going to move to the next task, which is task 3. So next up is the enumeration. We have to perform a port scan on this target machine. Let's see if we can communicate, if we can ping this machine first up. Okay, it's possible it doesn't even respond to ICMP requests. So let me just cancel that. So okay. So first up, what tool will allow us to enumerate ports 139 and 445? So I'll just cut out the nmap scan I performed on the machine when I did this from earlier. So let me cut Active Directory scan. So first up, enumeration. You perform your nmap scan by running this command here, as you can see. So nmap-sc to use default scripts, -sv to perform version detection, -a for aggressive scan, -p- to scan all ports on your target. Then this is to specify the speed at which it's going to run through all the ports. While this -on scan is to output the content or the results of your nmap scan into a file called scan. And then lastly, you specify the IP address. So that was the syntax I used to scan this machine. So as you can see, there are a ton of ports open on our target machine. So what tool will allow us to enumerate port 139 and 445? So that is enum for Linux. What is the NetBIOS domain name of the machine? From our nmap scan, we can actually get the answer to this. If you scroll, I think if you scroll up, yes, if you scroll up to this portion of your nmap scan, you can see that the NetBIOS domain name is thm-ad. So that's how you can get this answer. But if you want to use the tool enum for Linux, you can also use that. Let me cut out the I think enum I performed the scan using enum for Linux also, but I need to get the, unless I didn't save the output. So okay, if you want to use enum for Linux to perform your enumeration, you just run the command enum for Linux -a, and then you specify the IP address of your target. You press enter, and it will start the enumeration. So it will get to a point where it will discover the NetBIOS name of the machine. Next question. So we can let this keep on running while we answer the rest of the question. Next question. What invalid CLD do people commonly use for their Active Directory name? So we can actually just Google search this invalid TLD for Active Directory name. Okay. Invalid TLD for Active Directory name. Okay, so it will bring out a link here. Okay, so our enum for Linux scan is done. Okay, it's not done, but it found out the domain name for our Active Directory. So for the machine, you can see that it's also thm-ad. So you can either use nmap or enum for Linux to answer this question. Although we'll still make use of enum for Linux later on. So for this third question, you can click on this first link after searching on Google for this query. Sorry. Okay, so you can click on this first link and it will take you to a site showing us list of invalid TLDs that you can use, top level domains that people normally use. So from this result, you can see .local, .belkin, .home, and all that. So this is where I was able to find the answer for the third question. So that is a .local. Let me refresh my TryHackMe page. So that is that for the third question. So we can move to the next task. That's task 4. Okay. So the answer for this is .local. So task 4, we are still going to perform even more enumeration. So introduction, a whole host of other services are running, including Kerberos. Kerberos is a key authentication service within the Active Directory. With this port open, we can use a tool called kbrute, or I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, to brute force discovery of users' passwords and even password spray. Several users have informed me that, okay, so we are going to use a tool called kbrute to perform the next enumeration. So to download this tool, let me go to my Active Directory. Okay, good. So to download this tool, you click on the link that they attached in the room, and it's also instructed here that we should use an older version of this kbrute tool. So that's why I'm choosing the version 1.0.2. So after that, you can click on this first link to download the binary for kbrute. It will download the binary for kbrute, and after downloading it, what you're going to do next is that. So after downloading it, this will be the name of the binary. That is kbrute_linux_amd64. So after downloading it, you go to the directory of that binary of what you just downloaded. In fact, let me just do it so that you guys can understand. So I'll click on it. It should start the download. My internet is really slow. I don't know what is going on. All right. So yeah. So let me just save it in this directory. That's my downloads/software directory. Right. So I've downloaded it, or it's downloading already, as you can see here. Okay, all right, the download is done, so I can navigate to my downloads directory, software, where I downloaded the binary. When I do ls, you can see, yeah, so here it is. Sorry, no, okay, here it is here. So it's already downloaded. So next step is for me to give it executable permissions by doing chmod +x kbrute. Right? When I do ls, you see it has changed color to green. That means it's now an executable. So next up is just to change the name to make it a shorter name so that we can quickly run it anytime we want to. So I'm going to rename it from this to just kbrute. Press enter. So now we can run this using, I think, Python 3. Yeah. Or maybe not Python. Okay, yeah, so now I can run it just using // and kbrute. Yeah, so that is how to install or just download the binary and run kboots on your system. So let me go to back to my directory. Okay, so yeah, so we have successfully um, installed kboots. So what command within kboot will allow us to enumerate valid username? So you can first of all just run kboot to execute it, and then you can see, if you look to the user enum command, you can see available commands, and you look at user enum, it allows us to enumerate valid domain usernames via kboots from a list. So that means we're going to use a word list to enumerate valid usernames. So next up is to download this user list and pass list. They're just basically word lists. So you can right click and open in another tab for both of them. So when it has successfully opened, you just do Ctrl S to save those files. So let's move on. I already have them downloaded in my current directory, as you can see, password lists and the user lists. Okay, so you just do Ctrl S to save, and that's all. So okay, the answer for this is user enum. Next up, what notable account is discovered? These jump out at you. Okay, so before anything, we are going to there's a section where they give us a domain name. I think I missed it. Okay, yeah. So you can see at this section, notes. Flags for each user account are available for submission. You can retrieve all flags for user accounts via RDP. Note the login format is spookiesec.local/user at the Windows login prompt and administrator via win RM. So we need to specify this domain controller spookiesec.local in our etc hosts file, so that we'll be able to access it without having to type in the IP address. So to do that, you just type sudo nano/etc/hosts, press enter, asks you for your password, you enter your password, and then you enter at this section, press enter, and then you copy the IP address, paste it, and then you enter spookiesec.local, and you can exit out of this. So now we have saved the name as spookiesec.local. So we can now use that name rather than using the IP address at any point. So next up is to run the kboots using the username word list we just downloaded. Where is it? It's here. Okay, user list.txt. So the syntax is going to be .kbroot to run the script. Then, since we want to enumerate for user, we use a user enum, as you can see from what I've already typed here. Then -dc, you specify spookiesec.local, which is the domain controller, and then -d, the domain is spookiesec.local, and we specify the word list we are to use. I think even when you visit the GitHub repository, you can see the similar syntax here. That's how you can get the idea of what syntax to use for this enumeration. Or if not, you can just Google kbroots user enumeration or something. User enum, and you should find some write-ups on how to use this user enum. Yeah, so here you can see the command user enum-d. Then this is the domain name they specified, and then the user name they specified also. I think here should have here. Let's click on this. So okay, let me just run this command. Press enter. As you can see, it has found a valid username James. All right, so it's this link I found the syntax to use the user enum. So you can see --dc, and then to specify the domain controller's name, and then that's just it. That's the same syntax errors here. So it's discovering multiple multiple usernames for us. Yeah, okay. Let's see if we can answer the question. So what notable account is discovered? Okay, as you can see, it's this SVC admin that stands out the most out of all this. So these are just like regular names. Admin is a regular name. That's Robin James. But this SVC-admin is the one that should jump out at you. Or if not, you can just keep on testing till you get the correct answer. Next up, what is the other notable account that is discovered? So okay, you just found it, which is backup. Backup should tell you that obviously it means backup, maybe a backup of the whole domain or something. So that is the next username that was discovered. Okay, next up, abusing Kerberos. After the enumeration of user accounts is finished, we can attempt to abuse a feature within Kerberos with an attack method called ASARP roasting. So for this, we are going to need a tool from Impacket called getNPUsers.py. GetNPUsers. So we can stop this keyboard scan since we already have the information we need, or you can just let it run through. So for the first question, we have two user accounts that we could potentially query a ticket from. Which user accounts can you query a ticket from with no password? So you know we discovered two user accounts. That's SVC admin and backups. So we can query either of them to see which one we can use, which of them we can use. So to use the this script, let's first check the location of it. So we can use the command locate, then specify the name, and you can see we have the location of the full path to our script. So we just copy that and run it using Python 3, like the syntax shows us, and we specify the domain spookysec.local, and then we specify the username we want to test first. So let's try the SVC admin first, and then we specify no pass because it said which user accounts can you query a ticket from with no password. So we use the no pass command, or no pass flag. So we press enter and it should start. Yes, so we have the SVC admin and we've gotten the tickets from using this getNPUsers script. So looking at the hashcat examples wiki page, what type of Kerberos hash did we retrieve from the KDC? Specify the full name. So looking at the hashcat wiki page, so I already have that bookmarked on my browser here. That is, you can just Google example hashes or hashcat examples. All right, so you can just Google hashcat examples and click on the first link to take you to a page where it has the examples of hashes that hashcat supports. So once you're here, you just copy this first this word in between the first and in between this $sign symbol. So you just copy it and press Ctrl F on your keyboard if you're using Firefox or Chrome or whatever, and paste. Wait, I have not copied it. Copy and paste it here. So you can see it found the type, the hashcat type. So we can use this to answer the question. So it says okay, so just to copy the full name, which is this. So you just copy this and paste as your answer. What is the mode of this hash? The mode is 18200, as you can see here. Now crack the hash with the modified password list provided. What is the user account's password? So we are going to copy this hash inside of a text file. So I think I already did that with hash.txt. Yes. So you can open a file hash.txt. You copy this hash from the beginning to end. Starting from here, you copy it, open a file named hash.txt or anything you want to name it, then paste in your hash here. As you can see, I've already pasted it before. So once you've done that, close your file, and then you're going to use hashcat to crack this hash. So hashcat-m to specify the mode of the hash you want to crack, and we've already gotten that to be 18200. Specify that here. Then we specify the file of the hash that we want to crack, and then the word list we want to use to crack the hash. So remember, we downloaded a word list earlier, which was password list.txt. So that's the word list we're going to use. Press enter, it should start cracking. So since I already cracked this hash before, I just need to add --show, and it has displayed the password. As if you look to the bottom part here, you can see that is the password, management 2005. So that is how to use hashcat to crack the hash. So we have the username svcadmin and the password management 2005. So take note of those two things. So next step is another enumeration, more and more enumeration. So back to the basics now. So with the user account's credentials, we now have significantly more access within the domain. We can now attempt to enumerate any shares that domain controller may be giving out. So what utility can we use to map remote SMB shares? That's called SMB client. What option lists shares? You can type SMB client, client -- help, I think. Yes. So if you type that and you press enter, you should see a help list where it contains list of flags you can use with SMB clients. You see this -L, it gets a list of shares available on the host. That's exactly what they're asking for. So now, how many remote shares is this server listing? So we can do that by typing in the command SMB clients, then -L to list shares. Then you specify the domain, which is spooky.sec.local. Then we specify the username svcadmin. Press enter, and the password, which is management 2005 that we got earlier. Maybe I didn't type the password correctly. Okay, so and it has already listed the shares connected to this SMB. So how many remote shares is in the server listing? As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the answer, 6. There is no particular share that we have access to that contains, okay, there's one particular share that we have access to that contains a text file. Which share is it? So we can access this share. It will be the backup share, obviously, because that's the one that stands out the most. So we can access the share using SMB clients, then //spooky local, spookysec.local, then /backup, then you specify the username, which is svcadmin. Press enter, you enter the password, management 2005, and then we have access to the SMB share. So you type in the command ls to list the contents, and you can see backup underscore credentials.txt. So it is the backup share that contains a text file. What is the content of this file? So we can download this file using the command get, then backup. So backup underscore credentials.txt. This is the command we can use to download this file to our current directory. So since I've already done that, I don't need to do that anymore. So why has my terminal used? Okay, my terminal is acting weird. So let me just put the second one. Oh. So I've already downloaded the file. Once you use the command get and the file name, that's how to download the file on the SMB share. So as you can see, it's here now. Let me cut out this file to see the contents. And you can see it's a base64 code. This is obviously base64 code. So we can decode this base64 code using the command echo in double quotes. Copy this code. close it, and then you do the base 64-D, press enter, and we have decoded the code to be some form of credential. So decoding this, what's the full content? That is the full content that we just got. Next up, elevating privileges within the domain. That's the task 7. So let's see what we have here. Okay, let's add some time. So knowing this, we can use another tool within InPacket called secretsdump.py. This will allow us to retrieve all the password hashes that this user account has to offer. Okay, so we're going to use another tool called secretsdump.py. Just copy the name. Let's check the location of the script. You can use the command locate, press enter, and you can see this is where it's located. And just copy this like that. Copy. Okay, and run it using Python 3 and paste the script name. You press enter, and we have the help menu here. So we are told to run it and then get the method. What method allowed us to dump ntds.dit? If you check the hints, it will ask you to read the secret dump output. So we need to run it first before we were able to answer this question. Okay, so we can run this using Python 3, and then we specify the location to the script, and we specify the domain and the credentials we got earlier with the IP address of our machine. So make sure to replace this IP address with your own machine's IP address. You can always get this syntax by just Google searching online for the specific syntax to use this tool. So once you do that, you press enter, and it should start dumping some hashes for us. Yeah, so right off you can get the answer to the first question. It said what method allows us to dump ntds.dit. If you look at this section, it said using, okay, let me scroll up. It said using the DRUS API, or the DRSU rather, API method to get the ntds.dit secret. So that will be our answer. Next up, what is the administrator's NTLM hash? So this is the administrator user, and we can see his hash at this last portion. Next up, what method of attack could allow us to authenticate as the user without the password? That is the method of pass the hash. So pass the hash is like a hacking technique that allows an attacker to authenticate to a server by using like a NTLM or NTLM hash of a user's password, right? Instead of requiring the associated plaintext password that is normally used. So basically using the hash of a password to log in rather than using the plaintext password itself. So rather than a case where you get the hash and you have to crack the hash to get the plaintext to log in, we will just pass in the hash only and specify the username, and then we gain access to the machine. So that is what's called pass the hash. So, and to use pass the hash, we are going to use a tool called EvilWinRM. EvilWinRM. So, like I said, you're using a tool called EvilWinRM. What option will allow us to use a hash? You can just type in EvilWinRM. Press enter to bring out a list of options. And if you look at the -h section, H for hash, obviously, you can pass in the hash using this option. So the syntax to use EvilWinRM, since we already have a username and we have a hash, username of admin and hash that we just got here. So we can use EvilWinRM, and then we specify the domain -i SpookySec, and we use -u to specify the username, which is the administrator, -H, and we specify the hash of the administrator. Press enter. We should gain access to the machine now. All right, so we have gained access to the machine. So now it's time to find flags and submit to complete this run. So first of all, we have to find the flag for SVC admin. But before that, let's just get the flag for administrator. So all the flags are located in each user's desktop. So that's just a full description. So you can do cd okay, cd you can do cd slash desktop, right? Specify the location to desktop, press enter, and you press the command dir to list the contents. And you can see the root.txt flag, so you just use the command type root.txt to display the contents. And here we have the first flag. So next flag, we can just replace this with a backup slash desktop. Right, then we enter the command dir to list the contents, and you can see previous. So type to display the contents, create s txt, and that's the second flag. The last flag, just replace this with svc admin. dir to list the contents, and type user.txt.txt, and that's the final flag. So that's all for this room. Thank you very much for watching, and have a nice day.